Football, the Unyielding Card Master Strikes Back. Episode 81. Brother Ning killed crazy and pulled out cards continuously. Namor was knocked down in front. And the defensive players of the Selvi team are very fast this time, and the power of the collision is definitely not small. Namor fell to the ground in pain. Beep. At this time, Jiang Ning blew the whistle. Everyone's eyes were focused on Jiang Ning. Before the start of this game, countless fans have already signed a petition. They hope that the Jiang Ning referee can referee Namor's match. They hope that Namor can run wildly on the pitch again. They hope that Namor can also be shrouded in Jiang Ning's light, and no longer worry about being injured because the match is deliberately targeted by the opponent. At this moment, it finally came. Jiang Ning really sounded the whistle. And how will he be punished? Countless fans discussed fiercely at this moment. Oh my god, Huaxia's referee blew the whistle. How should he judge? Will he pull out his cards? Namor, after so many years, I finally waited for such a referee. Everything is really worth it. This may be your last World Cup. Everyone, I have to remind you that the Jiang Ning referee is likely not to blow the penalty. Because the players of the Selvi team just now were holding their hands high, there should be no foul action to push people. Won't you give cards? Very 18 probably not. This action should not be considered a foul. So, don't be too happy, guys. The fans were discussing fiercely, but the look of expectation in their eyes could not be hidden. Whether it was the audience on the court or everyone in front of the screen, their eyes were locked on Jiang Ning's body. At this moment, Jiang Ning has become the focus of fans around the world. Beep. Jiang Ning rushed over, his face calm, without any fluctuations. Immediately afterwards, he took out a yellow card from his pocket and showed it to the players of the Selvi team. Malicious collision, yellow card warning. Rumble. The fans of the Boshi team shouted in surprise. Even, some fans have moist eyes. Namor waited. Wait for this fair referee. The fans waited too. Wait for the day when Namor can finally run to his heart's content. Nope. Umpire. Did you impose too heavy a penalty? I raised my hand just now, but I didn't bother to bump into it. Why give me cards? And I also fell, I also got hurt. At this time, the Selvi player expressed dissatisfaction with Jiang Ning. That's right, referee, please think carefully before proceeding to the judgment. Just now, he raised his hand to signal to you before hitting someone. I don't know if you didn't see it, or if you didn't see it on purpose. Is it because Namor is a star, so you take special care of him? Then aren't we low-worth players worthy of playing? Shouldn't we be respected? Yes, then Mar is a top star, he has a lot of fans, but referee, you don't have to deliberately please the fans to like it, okay? The players of the Selvi team also came one after another, very dissatisfied with Jiang Ning's penalty. Even, Jiang Ning's penalty has been raised to a very serious height. They were questioning Jiang Ning and the referee from Huaxia for favoring Namor. They think that Namor is high in value and is a top star, so Jiang Ning is deliberately fawning over and treating him differently. Huh? What did you say? Jiang Ning's brows frowned, and his face sank at once. Immediately afterwards, he took out his yellow card and showed it to the Selvi player, who said it without hesitation. The action is done in one go, without even the slightest hesitation. The action of pulling out cards is always so decisive. Now it's just a yellow card to warn you once, and if you continue to question it, you will give the card. Wow. The scene erupted into another burst of exclamations. Cards again. This Huaxia referee is really tough. Moreover, he is also really calm and fearless enough. I believe that fans who often watch the game have seen the referee surrounded by players who are not satisfied with the penalty to protest. At this time, many referees will choose to explain while looking back, in order to prevent players from acting impulsively against the referee. But what about Jiang Ning? One step back. Don't be afraid. Even in the face of such a tall body of the players of the Selvi team, Jiang Ning was indifferent and unusually calm. Where did his confidence come from? Aren't you afraid of being bumped and hurt? But Jiang Ning not only did not have any fear, did not take a step back, and even showed the yellow card again. This is what really impresses countless fans. Jiang Ning referee, a referee from Huaxia, domineering. At this time, inside the Huaxia studio, He Wei and Guan Ziyuan both exclaimed. He Wei, dear audience, there is an emergency on the scene. He Wei, the player of the Selvi team hit Namor, and the referee Jiang Ning showed a yellow card by sounding the whistle. How? But the players of the Selvi team are obviously not convinced. He Wei, they went forward to theorize and surrounded Jiang Ning, and this irrational attitude of surrounding the referee taught them a lesson. He Wei, Jiang Ning showed a yellow card again, showing it to one of the Selvi team players who was not inferior. This is a warning. He Wei, the atmosphere became a little tense. Guan Ziyuan, yes, audience friends, we won't say whether Jiang Ning's penalty is correct or not, but but the Selvi team players protested like this, obviously some disrespect for the referee. Seiki Ziyuan, in the arena, especially in the World Cup, such a situation is rare. He Wei, even in the face of the protests of the Servi team, Jiang Ning still behaved calmly. He Wei, this alone is something that many judges can't do. Guan Ziyuan, teacher He Wei, what do you think of Jiang Ning's sentence just now? He Wei, 020, you mean the one when the Selvi team player knocked down Namor, right? How? Actually, it stands to reason that the Selvi players have raised their hands before they hit someone. He Wei, under normal circumstances, such a collision is not a very serious foul, and it should not be enough to eat cards. Seiki Ziyuan, yes, this is also the reason why the Selvi players protested. Seiki Ziyuan, they don't think it's a move that's enough to eat cards. Guan Ziyuan, so the players of the Selvi team think that Jiang Ning is helping Namor. He Wei, they even thought that Jiang Ning was afraid of Namor's fame, so he made an excessive punishment. He Wei, how to say it? I can only say that Selvi's players don't know Jiang Ning too well. Guan Ziyuan, yes, at least I have always believed in the decision of the Jiang Ning referee, and he has never let us down. Guan Ziyuan, and as for Jiang Ning's favor of helping Namor, it is even more impossible, it is simply nonsense. He Wei, that's right. This is a provocation and questioning of a referee. He Wei, and it has risen to the height of work ethic. He Wei, this will even affect Jiang Ning's sentencing career. Seiki Ziyuan, I hope the players of the Selvi team can calm down. Guan Ziyuan, it is very serious to question the referee like this. Even a red card is not too much. He Wei, yes, I think the bar screen will give us the answer later. He Wei, also give justice to the referee Jiang Ning. Episode 82. The toughest referee of the World Cup, there is no one. In the arena, there was an uproar. Because Jiang Ning pulled out the cards again, the fans of the Selvi's team were extremely dissatisfied, and the head coach of the Servi team had a gloomy face. He did not go to the fourth official to complain, but stared coldly at Jiang Ning's figure. This Huaxia referee was somewhat unexpectedly strong. It is not uncommon for referees to be surrounded by protesters. It is not uncommon to be surrounded by protests and then pull out cards. But in the face of such a situation, it is really rare to be unwilling to even take a step back. He showed a strong momentum, and in the face of so many people, he did not lose his eyes, and his eyes showed determination and confidence, no matter what the situation did not retreat. Don't underestimate this, backing away is important and can send a lot of information. Because it's human instinct. When faced with danger or threat, humans will react instinctively. But Jiang Ning didn't. He was as calm as ever, terribly calm, like a machine. Where does the confidence come from? The head coach of the Selvi team believes that he is very good at observing human nature and is also good at laying out tactics for human nature. Including his harsh words before the game, provoking Namor, including making the players make exaggerated celebratory gestures after scoring goals. These are all about breaking the inner defense of the Bashi players. He's confident. The gap in technology can be bridged by his targeting of humanity, but this referee became the first person he couldn't see. This is not good news for the survey manager. Because his tactics against Namor are many people staring at the bag, and even some provocations and foul actions. But if you meet such a referee, maybe the tactics will be difficult to play a role, and if you can't block Namor, the next step of the Selvi team will not be good. It's kind of funny to say. While everyone was paying attention to Jiang Ning's decision, the head coach of the Selvi team had already begun to think of such a profound level. But that's where the manager of the Selvi team excels. At this time, in the playing field, Jiang Ning's eyes were full of coldness. Staring at the Selvi player is a little weak-hearted. Especially after eating a yellow card, he didn't dare to say anything that angered Jiang Ning. The status of the referee on the field is very high, who is not afraid of 2 yellows turning 1 red. If you are really sentenced for this, then there is really no place to reason. Wow. Suddenly, at this time, the fans of the audience burst into a burst of exclamations. Because at this time, the big screen hanging above the stadium has played back the collision picture just now. In the picture, the players of the Selvi team quickly rushed towards Namor. And when he was about to crash into Namor, there was indeed a move to raise his hand. If you look at this action at a normal speed, there is no problem, but don't forget that there is also the intervention of VAR technology. VAR technology can capture every small movement of players through cameras in all directions of the field. After the processing of the video referee, the movement of the Servi team players in the moment they raised their hands in the picture was deliberately amplified and slowed down. Close-up of this action. I saw that while the Selvi team player raised his hand, his left hand was raised straight into the air. But his left hand had a subtle movement of reaching forward first, and then raised it later. And it was this forward movement that directly hit Namor's face. This is not a hit that fails to break, but a malicious collision, which is a harmful action. Although this action is very hidden, it is still detected by Jiang Ning. Wow. The audience was amazed. Not to mention, the fans of the Bashi team, even the fans of the Selvi team, can't help but marvel. Such a small foul action was actually sent by this referee? Is he still human? It must be a special ability. You must know that under normal circumstances, if the referee does not notice this small action, it will only be judged that it is a mistake and hit someone. If it's a mistake, it will only sound the whistle, but it will not give a yellow card. In this way, the video judge will not intervene. The end result, that's nothing. The Boshi team will get a free kick, but their attack is interrupted. And the players who maliciously hit people continue to get away with it and continue to use this method to target Namor. But Jiang Ning is different. Jiang Ning gave a yellow card. He detected all these small foul movements, and he would not let go of even the slightest foul. Because Jiang Ning's professional and rigorous judgment really restored the truth of the matter and gave Namor justice. When the replay was played, the players of the Selvi team fell silent. Caught and discovered, what else can be said? However, at this time, Jiang Ning spoke. I have said more than once, do not question my sentence. I also said that there will be no darkness on the pitch where I enforce. It doesn't matter to me who you want to target, I will only award every foul fairly and impartially. But I still need to remind you. Football is a sport that constantly challenges and surpasses. Instead of being jealous and fearful of others, summon up the courage to face it head-on. If you don't even have the courage to compete fairly, do you deserve to be in the World Cup? After speaking, Jiang Ning glanced at the players of the Selvi team and then turned to leave. The game continued, he was the main referee, and his duties were to be fulfilled, only to see Jiang Ning take out the spray and assign a free kick to the Boshi team. Beep. Jiang Ning sounded the whistle, urging the wall of people to line up. Whoops. The audience erupted into bursts of applause. It's just that this time the applause is not for others, but to the Huaxia referee who is fearless and fair and rigorous in the field. This Huaxia referee is really different. Namor's eyes shook, looking at Jiang Ning's back, unable to calm down for a long time. For the first time, he felt something to rely on the pitch. It turns out that he can rely on not only his teammates, but also the referees on the field. Trustworthy and trustworthy judges. Impartial, rigorous, professional. You don't even need VAR video to make a referee with an accurate penalty in an instant. At this moment, he understood Main's feelings. It turns out that there is such a light guarding justice in the arena. Is it such a feeling? At this time, Jiang Ning sounded the whistle, signaling that the free kick could be sent out of Namor to withdraw his gaze, and then took a deep breath. This ball will be handed over to him for a penalty. Suddenly, his eyes changed. Become focused, become fierce. Only the opponent's goal in sight. The excitement and gratitude in my heart, as well as years of grievances and complaints, all exploded at this moment. Turn into motivation, into the desire to talk about the ball. Then, step back, run, and raise your feet. Volley. Boom. Football rises. Bypassed the human wall, avoided the sight of the goalkeeper, and predicted everyone's movements. Shout. Football with a strong spin. Bypassing the right side of the human wall, a half-round full moon block was drawn in the air. Like a machete. Bang. Football should be on the net. The ball went in. This full moon scimitar cut into the goal of the Selvi team. Jiang Ning pointed forward with his arm to indicate that the goal was effective. The score is rewritten. 1-2. Episode 83, because of Jiang Ning, let Namor have no worries. The ball went in. The score is 1-2. Namor played less than 3 minutes and recovered a point for the Boshi team. Remember the amazing free kick and score straight away. He is still him, or the former Namor. Countless fans cheered, screamed, shouted, and then watched. The fair enforcement of the Jiang Ning referee allows Namor to have no worries and can confidently show his skills. This ball is the best response. Many old fans have moist eyes, which is too rare because they have almost watched Namor gradually deteriorate and fall silent over the years. Originally the top scorer, he is now more about creating opportunities for his teammates, because only in this way can it be guaranteed that he will not be violated and will not be maliciously fouled. Only in this way can he be injured less on the green fungus field and stay on the green fungus field to play as much as possible. In order to let him play the most value. But old fans know that only when shooting on goal, it is the real Namor. At this moment, that horseshoe are back. Among the fans of the Boshi team, the 8 or 9-year-old boy excitedly clenched his small fists. His little face was full of excitement. Number. The shirt 10230 he was wearing was Namor's. After seeing Namor score, he turned his head with great excitement and wanted to share this joy with his mother. But soon, a look of doubt appeared on his little face. Because Mom was crying again. He does not understand. When Boshi lost the ball just now, his mother cried, and he cried too. But now that the Boshi team has scored, why is my mother still crying? What he didn't know was that the tears his mother shed these 2 times were different. Contains too much. At this time, in the Huaxiao live broadcast room, He Wei and Guan Ziyuan stood up with an excited look. He Wei, good ball. That's great. The ball went in. Seiki Ziyuan, yes. Audience friends. The goal went in and the score was now 1-2. Seiki Ziyuan, this is a free kick from Namor. Seiki Ziyuan, it's so beautiful. That's great. This is a full moon machete. Directly smashed the defense of the Selvi team. Seiki Ziyuan, that moral hasn't changed. He's back. He didn't let us down. Seiki Ziyuan, when the team and the fans needed him most, he stepped up. Guan Ziyuan, he is the soul of the Boshi team and the hero of the Boshi team. Seiki Ziyuan, please forgive me for speaking too fast, sorry, I'm really too excited. He Wei, haha, it's understandable. He Wei, this ball just now is really wonderful. Even I think it was one of the best goals of Namor's career. He Wei, tonight, I feel satisfied to be able to witness such a goal with everyone. Seiki Ziyuan, yes, and I believe that there will be more wonderful pictures tonight. He Wei, yes, but speaking of this goal, then we have to mention Jiang Ning's penalty just now. Guan Ziyuan, that's right, I believe all Namor fans will be grateful to referee Jiang Ning. Seiki Ziyuan, judging from the VAR picture just now, this is really a foul with extremely subtle movements. Guan Ziyuan, but it was still captured by the Jiang Ning referee. And we are very glad that we have Jiang Ning in this game. Guan Ziyuan, if there is no Jiang Ning, even VAR will not intervene in this collision, and the video referee will not care at all. He Wei, yes, Jiang Ning once again used accurate and perfect judgments to show his professionalism as a referee. He Wei, referee Jiang Ning, we are proud of you. He Wei, okay, let's take a look at the opinion of the audience and friends in the live broadcast room on this ball just now. At this time, inside the Huaxiao live broadcast room, the dense barrage flew around, constantly refreshed, and reached the peak again. This ball is so handsome. Full moon machete. Namor hasn't played such a quality free kick for a long time. Namor is back, and our watch is back. Thank you Brother Ning, it was Brother Ning who illuminated this arena. I have always ignored the referee before, until I saw Ning Ji's decision. It turns out that for the game and the players, the professionalism of the referee is so important. The players of the Selvi team just don't listen to the advice, and there are many who question Brother Ning, but there are really no players who don't eat cards. Brother Ning, come on, send off all the fouls, don't get used to these grandchildren. At this time, in the playing field, the players of the Boshi team quickly rushed to Namor, and then hugged him excitedly. Namor also shouted excitedly. He wants to vent all these years of melody and depression. Immediately afterwards, he ran to the sidelines with a few teammates and danced. This is a feature of the Samba Legion. Every time you score a goal, there must be a dance move to celebrate. This time, though, it's a little different. Namor took his teammates and lined up. They spread their feet and shoulders. Then the left and right hands alternate the front fingers, accompanied by the swing of the legs. It's a celebratory move they've never done before. The fans watched and imitated one after another, the movements were uniform, and the picture was warm. After the celebration, Namor looked at Jiang Ning again. His eyes flashing with an inexplicable look. Looking at Jiang Ning's back, this referee from Huaxiao was different from the others. Jiang Ning blew the whistle and signaled that the game continued. The Selvi players looked gloomy and the atmosphere was a little depressed. But they also know that this is not the time to be discouraged. After all, the first half is coming to an end, and they still have a 1-goal lead. As long as they can keep this advantage, they can create a lot of chances in the second half. Shout. The football was passed by the players of the Selvi team and split to the right wing. At this time, Fernhovic has the ball. He is the main fulcrum of the Selvi team's organizational attack and needs to look for opportunities. Soon, his eyes lit up. Because the defense of the Boshi team is still the same as before. Namor's coming on only stimulated firepower on the offensive end, but it did not improve the Boshi's defense. Shout. He found the right opportunity, passed the ball and looked for Mitrovic in the middle. And, after he passed the ball, he also quickly inserted forward and rushed into the box. Two strikers intend to make a cooperation again. Whoosh. Mitrovic raised his foot to catch it, took the ball down, and then began to force a breakthrough with a look. It is still necessary to use the advantages of the body to tear the defense of the Boshi team. I saw Mitrovic rush forward and shake the defender to the ground. Immediately afterwards, he did not choose to continue to rush, but passed the ball to Vlahovic, who had already come to receive it. However, at this moment, the faces of the two strikers changed slightly. Because of this pass, it was tackled by Silva, the defender of the Boshi team. Episode 84 has only passed a few minutes, and another yellow card has arrived? The football was stolen. It turned out to be Silva. This made the two strikers of the Selvi team stunned for a moment, and then a chill surged in their hearts. Careless. There is still such a person in the back line of the Boshi team. I hadn't noticed this person before. After Namor came on, the players of the Boshi team were all moved. Silva, once known as the strongest central defender. It was the commander of the entire back line of the Boshi team. After Namor's return, his state was also restored. This has a feeling similar to finding the backbone of the main heart, the heart that has been tense relaxed, and the body is more and more excited. Silva itself is extremely good, and in the case of returning to his state, it is impossible to suffer the exact same loss twice in the hands of the other party in a row. So, when Mitrovic and Vlahovic were about to cooperate, Silva already had an insight. That's the scene where Silva intercepted the pass just now. The back line of the Boshi team also seemed to come to life with the return of Namor. Smart, free. It seems to be scattered, but it has a strong ability to assist in defense. Especially after Silva's form returns, it will not be so easy for the two strikers to open the gap in the same way. The football was passed out, and Silva, as a central defender, sent the football to the midfield for the first time under the steal. And the moment he snatched the football, the three strikers of the Boshi team had already begun to rush towards the half of the Selvi team. Namor, Richarlison, and Vinicius sprint hard. 3 sharp knives on the front. The football flew sideways and found Namor's spot. Namor instantly increased his speed, took a step ahead of the opposing defender, and got stuck. Boom. Namor faced the siege of the opposing defenders. He did not choose to break through by himself, but raised his right foot and swung slightly. The moment the football fell, it didn't even come to the ground and touch it, and it was knocked aside by Namor's swinging leg. And that's where Richarlison is. The defenders immediately rushed to grab it. And at this time, Richarlison is also much calmer, that Mar will always be the one who knows him best, and can always send football to his most comfortable position. However, now is not the time to shoot. Selvi's defensive players have come to him. I saw the football was kicked up by Richarlison. After the football flew up, Richarlison faced the opponent's scramble and directly flipped the ball with his head. Boom. 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 The football jumps on Richarlison's head. This can make the opposing defender very bad. How to grab? Feet can't lift so high. Bang with your head? The problem is that you can't hit it. Without jumping, no matter how long your neck stretches, how can you cross a person's position? Unless you're a turtle. What about jumping? Then there is only one chance, and it is easy to crush people and foul. Once they jump up and are flashed by Richarlison, then Richarlison can take advantage of this opportunity to shake them. There is no solution. But this method of using the head to cross the ball is only dare to be used by extremely skilled players in the game. Otherwise, if you don't turn it upside down, the opportunity you created so hard will be gone. Boom. 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 After 3 headshots, Richarlison had already shook the defender in front of him. Immediately afterwards, the football fell, Richarlison's thighs lifted slightly, and the football gently bounced down and landed at his feet. Success. And it's almost dramatic. Golden opportunity. Richarlison's eyes lit up, and he immediately launched and was about to rush into the box with the ball. At this time, Namor and Vinicius had already rushed into the box, ready to respond to the roar, but just when Richarlison was about to pass the ball, the players of the Selvi team once again turned around and pounced. The player from the Selvi team was furious. He felt like he had been teased by Richarlison. This is contempt for oneself. Otherwise, how could he shake himself in such a way? Didn't put him in the eye at all. Therefore, under the anger and urgency, he directly pounced. Richarlison fell heavily to the ground. He was pounced. At the same time, there was also a striking motion under the opponent's foot, hitting his thigh. Richarlison rolled on the ground with his thighs covered, his face showing pain. Beep. Jiang Ning whistled and strode forward. Yellow card warning. This is a yellow card move without a doubt. And Jiang Ning also solemnly warned the player of the Selvi team when he played the card. This time, the players of the Selvi team no longer dared to have an opinion on Jiang Ning's decision, and they shrugged their heads one by one. Poof. Jiang Ning took out the spray and delimited the position of the free kick on the ground. Another well-positioned free kick. The hearts of the players of the Selvi team sank. After experiencing Namor's full moon scimitar just now, they have a psychological shadow on free kicks. If Namor had kicked like this again, the score would have been equalized. But there is no way around it. After all, if you don't forcibly stop Richarlison just now, there are still 2 gods in the restricted area, Namor and Vinicius. I'm afraid the possibility of scoring is greater. Beep. Jiang Ning blew the whistle, indicating that a free kick could be fired. But this time, Namor patted Richarlison on the shoulder. Richarlison was stunned and looked at Namor in surprise. Namor, on the other hand, smiled in return. A look, a smile, the two have already conveyed each other's hearts. Richarlison was grateful and nodded heavily to Namor. In fact, Namor saw the previous shot failure of Richarlison, and knowing this made him feel a little guilty. So, Namor gave this free kick to Richarlison to take the penalty. Richarlison naturally understood Namor's heart and was grateful. Phew. Richarlison took a deep breath. He observed the location of the human wall, and also noticed the position of Namor and Vinicius. As a good striker, he also has to be prepared to miss this goal. If this goal is not scored, it depends on the teammate's supplementary shot. When he was ready, Richarlison began to slowly retreat, and then rushed forward to volley. Shout. The football crossed the wall and rushed to the left of the goal. Boom. A defender on the back line of the Selvi's team reacted immediately and made an emergency release at a crucial moment. Jack out this goal, that would have been a must score. The ball didn't score. And the football was bounced high into the air. Suddenly, there was chaos in the restricted area of the Selvi team. 3 players rushed to the soccer ball to destroy the ball. But at this moment, a figure struck like lightning. Namor again. He got out of the defensive players. Then, before the football has yet landed, it jumps high. His body hangs upside down in midair, flipping on its side. And then volley. Volley, upside down side hook. Episode 85. The black whistle is too obvious, don't you blow offside? Football gallops. Hit by Namor's stunning upside down side hook and flew towards the goal. On the trajectory of the football, there are enough 4 defenders rushing to intercept. But the football hit by Namor seemed to have calculated the opponent's trajectory long ago. In the encirclement and blockage of the 4 people, a gap was found abruptly. Gallop by. Go straight to the goal. Bang. Football should be on the net. A hot shock as a shot from the heavens. Tear the Selvi team's defense. Namor played less than 10 minutes and scored another goal to equalize for Bashi. That's what a real star can do. Namor, who has no worries, shows his skills to the fullest. This is football, this is the youth on the green field. However, at this time, some players from the Selvi team noticed the action of the linesman on the sidelines. The linesman holds a small flag with his arm pointed forward. This is a gesture of offside. Suddenly, the players of the Selvi team seem to have caught a life-saving straw and signaled to Jiang Ning one after another. Hey! Referee, this ball is offside. Offside, offside, this ball does not count, the linesmen have raised the flag. Can't you see? However, Jiang Ning ignored it, but motioned to the lineman to lower his arm. Immediately afterwards, Jiang Ning pointed forward with his arm to signal that the goal was effective. 2-2. The players and fans of the Selvi team exploded in an instant. What is the referee doing? Obviously offside is also a goal. Black whistle, black whistle, black whistle. This Huasha's referee is obviously helping the Bashi team. Brothers, let's stand up together and protest loudly, this is a deliberate targeting. And let the linesman put down the flag, this is also too obviously biased. In the audience, the fans of the survey team all stood up, shouting vigorously, protesting Jiang Ning's sentence this time. Just now, the linesman has obviously raised the flag, which shows that this ball is 100% offside, why not blow it? But what about Jiang Ning? Not only did he not blow offside, but he also forcibly let the linesman put his hand down. It was obviously an offside goal, but it still awarded the Bashi team a goal? This is naked favoritism and cover-up. This is the black whistle. This is bot. It is hard for the audience to imagine that in the World Cup, there are referees who dare to blow the black whistle so obviously. This is looking for death. Suddenly, a sound of protest and cursing spread throughout the stadium. Damn it. I'll just say there's something wrong with this referee, is he dead? Aren't you afraid of having a life to take money and not spend it? So obvious when we are blind, what about FIFA? Complain now, be sure to complain right away. This is the first time I've seen a referee intervene in the linesman's blowing penalty, which is so obvious. This World Cup is so disappointing, never watch the World Cup again. Protest. Protest. Give us an explanation. Change of referee. There were not many fans of the Selvi team at the scene. Enraged, their voices grew louder and louder, causing a sensation throughout the stadium. Not only protested and cursed, but even smashed the water bottle and other things in their hands towards the position of Jiang Ning in the field below. There were loud noises and curses, and even malicious attacks. At this point, the fans of the Bashi team were silent. They also saw the action of the linesman raising the flag just now, and they were also a little puzzled by Jiang Ning's decision. Could it be that this referee is really helping the Bashi team? The players of the Bashi team also looked at each other, and for a while, they were a little unsure whether they and others were offside first. Jiang Ning's expression was calm, allowing the audience to insult, and he did not dodge the level and other debris that came at a gallop. Because he couldn't lose him at all, he naturally wouldn't care. As a professional referee, no matter what kind of situation he encounters, he will not be disturbed by the outside world. At this time, in the Huaxia studio, He Wei and Guanzi Yuan also looked puzzled. He Wei, what's the situation? Is this offside? Guanzi Yuan, just now, the linesman really raised the flag first. Seikizi Yuan, if there are no special circumstances, this ball should be offside first, so the goal should be invalid. He Wei, but Jiang Ning firmly signaled that this was a good goal and the goal was effective. Guanzi Yuan, I can't understand this a little. Guanzi Yuan, although I am very supportive of Jiang Ning, I would like to believe that his punishment has always been fair and rigorous. Guanzi Yuan, but this ball seems to be impossible to say, right? Guanzi Yuan, teacher He Wei, what do you think of this ball? He Wei, I also can't understand what Jiang Ning means. Hervey, it's just two situations. He Wei, first, it should be that the linesman saw it wrong, there was a blowing error, and the ball was not actually offside, it was a mistake by the linesman. He Wei, but to be honest, the referees who can enter the World Cup are all international referees, and they have passed layers of assessment and screening. He Wei, especially for offside blowing penalties, the probability of the linesman making a mistake is really low. Seikizi Yuan, what about the second case? Hervey, the second case, which is that the ball is indeed offside, but there are other special circumstances that we don't know. Seikizi Yuan, special circumstances? Guanzi Yuan, I've been watching the ball for so long, and I really haven't seen any special circumstances for offside balls. Hervey, me too, the blowing penalty for offside is actually very simple and clear, either offside or not offside. He Wei, but I still believe in Jiang Ning's professionalism. There must be some special circumstances that we don't understand. Guanzi Yuan, yes, I hope Jiang Ning's sentence is correct. Guanzi Yuan, otherwise, such a wrong judgment will have a huge impact on Jiang Ning's refereeing career, and even be disqualified. He Wei, okay, let's wait for the result. In the Huaxia live broadcast room, the barrage is also being sent intensively. For Jiang Ning's sentence, the fans in the live broadcast room also looked puzzled. Brothers, I am a pseudo-fan, but I also know that the linesman raising the flag means that he is offside. Why did Brother Ning give a judgment? Brother Ning, shouldn't you also be a fan of the Boshi team? But you're a referee, and you can't be so obvious. It's too bad, I'm afraid Brother Ning is a little troublesome now. Brother Ning's punishment will not be wrong, it will never be wrong, I believe Brother Ning. I also believe in Brother Ning, but this ball is really a little unspeakable. 0.3. What's going on with you guys? Think it's great if you know penalties? Can you have Brother Ning? No need to argue, just believe in Brother Ning without brains, this is not the first time, calm down. On the playing field, the angry players of the Selvi team gathered around one after another, asking Jiang Ning for an explanation. Hey! Referee, should you give us an explanation? This ball linesman has raised the flag, offside first, and the subsequent goal is simply invalid. Because the Boshi team is the former champion team, and we Selvi team is an unknown team, so they bully us? Referee, your appearance is also too ugly. Jiang Ning looked calm, did not say much, but looked in the direction of the lineman. At this time, the lineman saw Jiang Ning being surrounded by people, and quickly ran over, giving an apologetic look to Jiang Ning. Episode 86. This referee from Huaxia won the cheers of everyone in the audience. On the playing field, Jiang Ning was surrounded by the players of the Selvi team and begged for an explanation. It was obviously an offside goal, why did Jiang Ning still insist on scoring a valid goal? This is not even a secret bias anymore. This is outrageous. Seeing this scene, the linesman immediately ran to beg. Referee Jiang Ning, I'm sorry. The linesman looked apologetic. He knows best what has just happened. So he knew that Jiang Ning's sentence was not a problem. It's just that his action of raising the flag caused Jiang Ning to be misunderstood. It's okay, it's not your fault. Jiang Ning nodded to the linesman and did not mean to blame. Because from beginning to end, the linesman was not wrong, and Jiang Ning was not wrong. What is wrong is just one small link, which is misunderstood by everyone. Seeing this scene, the players of the Selvi team were a little puzzled. The linesman ran over to apologize? What apologies? What exactly is the situation, and the raising of the flag just now does not mean offside? Could it be that the linesman is wrong? Actually, there is no offside? Jiang Ning waved his hands flat, signaled the players of the Selvi team to be quiet, and pointed to the large screen hanging in the field. At this time, the video referee team has played back the picture just now, and made a video horizontal 18 cut. According to the picture, it turned out that when Richarlison got up and shot a free kick just now, there was a player in the Boshi team who was in an offside position. In the moment when Richarlison made a kick, the players of the Boshi team would naturally find a way to get close to the goal and be ready to make up the shot. But this player started a little earlier, causing his shoulder to be in an offside position. Although this offside is not obvious, it is still captured by the linesman. So, it was at this time that the linesman raised the flag in his hand. This is his duty and the instinctive reaction of being a professional referee. The Boshi players are indeed offside. There is no problem with the linesman raising the flag. But the point is that the ball did not reach the feet of the Boshi players, but directly hit the goal, and was finally pushed back by the defenders of the Selvi team. In other words, the Boshi players were offside, but they didn't touch the ball. The ball was touched by the players of the Selvi team and jacked out. So according to the rules of football, this offside will not affect the result of Nammer's make-up shot. The goal works. Once again, the audience was in an uproar. This is a misunderstanding. Jiang Ning's penalty is no problem. The Boshi fans celebrated with joy. I'll go, if it weren't for the video playback, it wouldn't be clear. Who said just now that this Huaxia referee black whistle? You all take a closer look. It's too strong, this detail has been captured, if only there were a few more referees in the World Cup. Jiang Ning, Jiang Ning, Jiang Ning. Someone shouted Jiang Ning's name loudly. The first to take the lead were the fans from Huaxia, standing up and chanting Jiang Ning's name. Afterwards, spectators from other countries also stood up and shouted for the referee from Huaxia. Each penalty was impartial and rigorous, and won the admiration of everyone present. It was a precise penalty, and the linesman was not wrong. He raised the flag because the Boshi player was offside on a free kick. And Jiang Ning is not wrong. The Boshi team scored and tied the score. This upside-down side hook, super volley, stunning 4 seats. Inside the Huaxia studio, He Wei and Guanzi Yuan were equally full of excitement. He Wei, beautiful. There is no problem with Jiang Ning's sentence. He Wei, it's so professional. It's an undisputed good ball. He Wei, we can always trust Jiang Ning. Seiki Ziyuan, yes. Because of Jiang Ning's fairness and rigor, the Boshi team equalized the score. Seiki Ziyuan, Nammer did it. He really did it. Seiki Ziyuan, the former Nammer is back. Guanzi Yuan, I believe that at this moment, at the moment when Jiang Ning signaled that the goal was effective, countless fans will be moved and grateful. Seiki Ziyuan, because Nammer found himself. Guanzi Yuan, he was targeted, violated, pushed down. He protested, he fought back, and he was even warned by eating cards. Guanzi Yuan, his experience was once ignored by the referee, but it was seen by all the fans. Seiki Ziyuan, now he has done it. Because Jiang Ning gave him a fair and just sentence. Hervey, yes, Nammer's experience made the fans understand one thing. He Wei, try to stick to your dreams. One day, dreams will be closer and closer to us. Hervey, life may not be as good as we think, but it won't be as bad as you think. He Wei, people's vulnerability and strength are beyond their imagination. He Wei, sometimes a sentence that can be fragile, can bring tears to your eyes. Hervey, sometimes you find yourself gritting your teeth, and you've come a long way. He Wei, Nammer shed tears in the arena, and also held his head high. He Wei, he persisted until now, so he waited for Jiang Ning. Seiki Ziyuan, yes, friends, this is the energy that football really transmits to us. Seiki Ziyuan, never give up. At this time, in the field, the players of the Boshi team hugged together to celebrate the birth of this wonderful goal. Nammer turned around and looked at Jiang Ning's back, full of reverence. Jiang Ning's penalty changed Nammer's definition of a referee. He remembers being knocked down by an opposing player in a game. The severe pain at that moment made him unable to even stand up again, and finally had no choice but to exit. But in the face of such a bad foul, the referee present at the time just gave the opposing player a yellow card. There were even people who mocked and attacked Nammer, saying that he was simply faking and moaning. But in the end, the result of the shock in the hospital was that if the player hit 2 centimeters higher, then Mar would be paralyzed for life. What a bad foul. Nammer also protested. After he was pushed down, referee 853 turned a blind eye. He was dissatisfied, he was not convinced. However, the result of the protest was that he, the victim, instead received a yellow card warning. Nammer was disappointed and gradually learned to be silent and protect himself. He never thought that besides his teammates, who else he could rely on until today, he was sure that at least Jiang Ning was trustworthy. Today's race will be his most secure run in years. Beep. At this time, Jiang Ning blew the whistle, signaling the game to continue. Now the regular time for the first half of the game is over. Jiang Ning signaled to the assistant referee, and the first half was injured for 4 minutes of stoppage time. The ball of football came to the feet of the Selvi team. There is not much time left in the first half of the venue. And the advantages they created before have been wiped out because of Nammer's play. So, taking advantage of the last half of the game, the Selvi team launched a final wave of fierce attack. Boom. The football was finally passed to Mitrovic's feet. Mitrovic, as the soul of the Servi team, also showed enough calm at this time. While the ball was firmly in their hands, several players played several exquisite combinations under his command. It's just a pity that until the last moment, they still couldn't score again. Beep. Beep. With Jiang Ning's whistle, the first half of the game is officially over. The score of the two sides, 2-2 draw. The decisive battle between the Samba Legion and the Balkan Eagles will begin in the second half. Episode 87, Namur kicks football, we kick Namur. The first half ended and it was halftime. For the team, the 15 minutes in the middle were crucial. Because it's about the tactical setup of the second half. In addition to allowing players to make brief adjustments, the halftime period also allows managers of both sides to make corresponding tactical changes according to the situation in the first half. There is no way to call a timeout in football, and the only thing the manager can do during the game is to do some simple instructions on the sidelines. Or when making substitutions, you can let the players on the field pass on some important information. These 15 minutes are important. At this time, the Bashi team's players' lounge was full of jubilation. The players are in good form because Namur's return has made them all play relaxed and excited. Especially in just 10 minutes, Namur equalized 2 goals, which made the players regain their confidence. They believe they can turn things around in the second half. Soon, the head coach of the Bashi team walked in quickly. His expression was relaxed and he didn't say much, just reminded the players in the back line to be vigilant and pay attention to the height advantage of the Selvi team. Note that in the second half, the Selvi team will definitely score by creating more free kicks and corners. It's their usual means, because they have a big advantage in terms of body. So the players on the back line must be vigilant. Today's referee is very professional, be careful in your movements, don't eat cards. Also, if the opponent wants to attack with free kicks and corners, it is actually our chance to fight back. After grabbing the ball, the first time to pass to the front court. Do you understand? The coach of the Bashi team simply laid out the tactics, and with the current form and excitement of the team, he did not need to worry too much about the second half. Understood. The players agreed. Meanwhile, inside the Selvi team's players' lounge. The players gathered here, bowing their heads and silent. Tread. A sound of footsteps came. The head coach of the Selvi team pushed the door and walked in, then closed the door tightly. Listen to me. We need to make some changes in the second half. The head coach of the Selvi team knocked the table, looking a little solemn. The tone is also very serious, and I am not satisfied with the performance in the first half. The originally good situation kicked like this, hold back. Now the biggest obstacle for us is Namur's presence. So, we need to guard him to the death. As soon as he gets the ball, go up and cover him, and don't be afraid of fouls. When necessary, it is worth fighting Namur with eating cards. Saying that, the head coach of the Selvi team showed a very pale look on his face. The advantage he created with great difficulty was equalized by Namur in 10 minutes. It can be said that every minute of Namur on the field makes the head coach of the Surveys team very uncomfortable. A thorn in the eye, a thorn in the flesh. I can't wait to unplug it now. Also, the pressure on the Bahun team in the second half is even greater. Move bigger when pressing high, test the bottom line of the referee's decision. In the case of not eating cards, the movements in your hands do not need to be in vain. The pressure on the Bashi penalty area should also be stronger, create more free kicks and corners. Kids, there is still a long way to go, we Balkan Eagles, there is every hope to take the Bashi team. Come on, I'm looking forward to your performance. When the players of the Selvi team heard this, they nodded heavily. Now the score is only 2-2, and there is still the second half of the game, and it is still uncertain who will die the deer. There is still hope for them. The opponent is Namur's coming on, which changes the atmosphere of the whole team. In the green field, it is right to always target Namur. Namur kicks football, we kick Namur. Just when the players on both sides were resting, the official also gave various data from the first half of the game. Possession, Bashi 62% and Selvi 38%. Number of shots, Team Bashi 8 times, Team Selvi 5 times. Number of shots on positive, Team Bashi 4 times, Team Selvi 4 times. Passes, 328 for Bashi, 266 for Servi. Number of corners, Team Bashi 0 times, Team Selvi 1 time. Number of fouls, Bashi 9 times, Selvi 15 times. Number of yellow cards, Team Bashi has 0 tickets, and Team Servi has 2 cards. Number of red cards, Team Bashi 0, Team Servi 0. Judging from the game data in the first half, in terms of possession and number of passes, the Bashi team has a certain advantage. After all, the overall players of the Bashi team are better and the skills under their feet are more proficient. It's just that the Bashi team did not play well at the beginning, and they had the number of shots on goal, but failed to target many times. Although the Selvi team only had 5 shots on goal, 4 were on target. This shows that in the first half of the game, the Selvi team's attack was more threatening, otherwise, it would not have been possible to take a 2-goal lead before. Fans who saw the data were amazed. They all know that after the break, there will be a more exciting duel in the second half. Time passed quickly and the intermission was over. The players from both sides stepped into the middle again, regaining their footing according to the formation. Beep. After Jiang Ning confirmed the time, he decisively sounded the whistle. Team Boshi versus Team Selvi, the second half of the game officially begins. The ball is at the feet of the Boshi team. After the kickoff in midfield, the Boshi players did not immediately choose to attack, but hovered in the midfield, waiting for the opportunity. It can be seen that the Boshi players are very relaxed at this time and play very patiently. Seeing this, the players of the Selvi's team immediately stepped forward to press it. Their desire to win is also a little unbearable at this time. Boom. In the process of pressing, the Selvi players also knocked down the Boshi team dribbler. Beep. Jiang Ning whistled and did not pull out his cards, but his arm was still pointed in the direction of the Selvi team's goal. It was a foul on the pusher, but when the action was not too big, Jiang Ning did not give a card, but only awarded a free kick to the Boshi team. However, in football, a free kick in the middle of the field is almost meaningless. Because it's too far from the opponent's goal. Therefore, usually when encountering this kind of free kick, the players choose to open the ball directly and continue to advance. Yes equals none. Beep. However, shortly after the Boshi players drove the ball out again, Jiang Ning whistled again. It is still the Selvi players who felt some small movements in their hands when they stepped forward to fight. Jiang Ning frowned. He clearly felt that at the beginning of the second half, the number of fouls committed by the Selvi players increased. That's not a good thing, bro. Maybe this is sending a certain signal. Team Selvi should play harder and more fiercely. In the advance of the Boshi team, Jiang Ning sounded the whistle 4 times. This also interrupted the offensive rhythm of the Boshi team several times. Finally, after several passes, the Boshi team sent the ball to the half of the Selvi team. The football was passed to the middle, looking for Namer's position. And at this time, Namer is also thinking of a way to plug it in. Episode 88, Kicking or Kicking, red card down. The game continues. The Boshi team pushed the ball into the middle, where Namer was. Namer stepped forward, showed his physical qualities, and abruptly slipped through the pockets of 2 defenders. At this time, the defensive players of the Selvi team looked fierce and should speed up immediately. Just as Namer reached out to catch the ball, he also stretched out his foot. At the same time, there is also a noticeable push and knee-raising action. And his feet are also very exquisite. Because Namer had injured his ankle before, this kick also happened to step on Namer's ankle. This defensive player's movements are extremely vicious. One foot stepped on Namer's ankle, while both hands pushed him backwards and his knee hit Namer's waist hard. This is an action to cripple people. Ah! Namer screamed, covered his feet and rolled on the ground. His expression was painful, and beads of sweat oozed out from his forehead, which showed that this kick should have triggered his old injury. Beep. Jiang Ning whistle. It's a foul action behind you, and it's an extremely egregious foul. But before Jiang Ning could pull out his cards, Richarlison of the Boshi team ran over angrily and pushed the opposing player to the ground. Richarlison was furious. The players of the Boshi team are also furious. Namer had not yet recovered from his injury, and the other party's kick was obviously aimed at the horse's old injury. It's not just about taking Namer down. 9-10, this is malicious harm. It is very likely that it will affect Namer's future career. Ill-intentioned. Insidious to the extreme. Among them, Richarlison is the most angry. Because of his deep relationship with Namer, especially in the first half, Namer also gave him a free kick in order to take care of his emotions. Namer has been taking care of him and creating opportunities for him. So now seeing that Namer was injured again, Richarlison broke out as soon as possible. Beep beep. Jiang Ning saw that the 2 sides seemed to be about to break out into conflict, and hurriedly sounded the whistle. Immediately afterwards, Jiang Ning took out a red card, first showing it to the players of the Selvi team, and then took out the yellow card and aimed it at Richarlison of the Boshi team. The fans of the Selvi team were outraged. Isn't it just hitting someone? In football, there is a body collision that is normal, and you actually give a red card directly? This referee is also too ruthless. It's so vicious. Give a red card at such a critical time. It will cause them to lose the game. And this scene made Richarlison even more angry. Especially, he also got a yellow card. But at this time, the teammates of the Boshi team quickly stopped and dragged Richarlison away. Richarlison, calm down. Team Selvi obviously deliberately injured Namer, and they want to use eating cards to force Namer off the field. You rushed up so impulsively you couldn't change anything, and you ate an extra fooey. In the end, it will only be a cheaper Selvi team. Don't forget, this referee won't listen to you for any reason. If you are impulsive, he will not hesitate to send you off. Team Boshi's teammates pulled Richarlison and shouted in a low voice. Only then did Richarlison calm down, and after looking back at Jiang Ning, who looked calm, he was afraid for a while. Oh, yes. This Huaxia referee is really ruthless. He doesn't care what stars you are, and he doesn't give face at all. Come here. At this time, Jiang Ning beckoned to the players of the Selvi team. The players of the Selvi team all walked over with an innocent look and spread their hands to Jiang Ning, indicating that this red card was too heavy. Jiang Ning looked indifferent and did not care about their performance. Do you want to kick football or kick people? I now solemnly warn you that if you maliciously foul and hurt the opposing player, FIFA can fully punish you severely. If you want to continue playing football in this life, give me honesty. Don't take chances. If there is such a bad foul, I will send you straight to the end. After that, Jiang Ning took a deep look at the players of the Selvi team and then turned his head to observe Namor's injury. The faces of the players of the Selvi team changed. If Jiang Ning reported this matter to FIFA, they might really be disqualified. Suddenly, the players looked at each other, and a flash of panic flashed in their eyes. At this time, the team doctor of the Boshi team had rushed up and even brought a stretcher. The team doctor's expression was a little solemn. They had been responsible for recovering Namor's ankle injury. So they know very well the seriousness of Namor after he injured his ankle again. It is likely to affect whether he can continue to play later. Hush. However, at this time, the fans of the live Salvai's team booed a lot. This scene is very similar to the scene that Namor was attacked by fans after being targeted before. Pretend again. He's pretending again. Didn't you just step on your foot? What's the big deal? Don't other players get stepped on often? Why don't you see them so seriously? Namor, who falls when touched, is as fragile as a disease-free moaning. What to pretend? This is the dignity of a star? Can't even touch it? Who will dare to compete with him in the future? Hearing the abuse and ridicule of the Servi fans, the players of the Boshi team showed anger on their faces. But what about this? Do you have to find someone among tens of thousands of fans and argue with him? It's irrational. Encounters like this, Namor has experienced too much. So Namor is the calmest person. Namor looked at his team doctor expectantly, expecting the team doctor to say that you can continue playing. But the team doctor was visibly cautious. They shook their heads at Namor, then turned around to signal a change to the referee on the sidelines. Nope. Wait a minute, but at this moment, Namor reached out to stop the team doctor. Namor, I understand your feelings, but now your injury is likely to be worsening, and I can't support you to continue playing. The team doctor said, and he was about to put Ranamar on a stretcher. No, please give me a little more time. I can't finish yet. The score is still 2-2, the Boshi team still needs me, and the fans are still waiting for me to stand up. Please spray me with painkillers. Namor said with a genuine face, almost in a pleading tone. But in his eyes, there was an undoubted firm gaze. What? Namor, do you know what you're talking about? It's an adventure. You're risking your career and the rest of the team's games. The team doctor was shocked, showed a shocked look, and immediately scolded. However, the words of the team doctor did not make Namor waver. Namor said, my career won't end here, trust me, and the next game's for the team. If this game is lost, the team will be in trouble. So, I'm not the end of the game yet, please give me a little more time. It only takes a little time. The team doctor was silent for a moment, looking at Namor's persistent eyes, and unable to speak for a while. Immediately, the team doctor nodded slowly. Okay, I can give you a little more time, but if you can't hold it, you must get off immediately. After speaking, the team doctor immediately took out the painkiller spray from the medical kit and sprayed it on Namor's ankle. Namor's pain soon eased, and the hideousness on his face slowly faded, and then, Namor stood up and nodded to Jiang Ning. Referee, I can continue playing. When Jiang Ning heard this, he nodded and didn't say anything more. He is just a referee and does not interfere with the decisions of players. Beep. So, Jiang Ning blew the whistle, and the game continued. Episode 89, isn't it, this also gives me cards? Namor stood up and used a more extreme method, holding back the severe pain, and the game continued. At this point, the Boshi team won a free kick. Namor beckoned to Pooh Hughes. Vinicius hurriedly ran over, revealing a surprised look. This ball was supposed to be given to Namor to take the penalty, why would it suddenly call him over? Namor patted Vinicius on the shoulder and gave him a look that gave him a kick. Vinicius immediately tightened his heart. Because he saw a trace of pain between Namor's eyebrows. He still hurts. But he's enduring. The reason why he gave this ball to Vinicius was because the severe pain had caused him to not complete the free kick well. Vinicius was worried about Namor's injury, but did not dare to show it. He nodded heavily at Namor, and then his expression began to become solemn. This goal is key, and it is also a high level of trust given by teammates. Beep. Jiang Ning whistle. At this point, the human wall has been lined up, and the ball can be thrown out. This free kick is not badly positioned, and from the angle, it really suits Vinicius' dominant foot. Vinicius quickly distanced himself from the football, then ran and shot angrily. The football flies fast. It's an arc ball with a very violent spin. Boom. However, this ball was still hit by the players who jumped up the wall. This caused the football that was originally running towards the goal to change direction, and the strength slowed down a lot, and finally it was easily confiscated by the goalkeeper. Ugh. Vinicius clutched his clothes with both hands, a look of disappointment. The opportunity that Neymar was injured in exchange for was wasted by him. Don't worry, there is still a long way to go, I will cooperate with you. At this time, Neymar ran over and smiled at Vinicius. Although the pain in his ankle made it difficult for him to run vigorously, he continued to act relaxed in front of his teammates. By this time, the ball was at the feet of the Selvi team. The goalkeeper of the Selvi team kicks the ball out. This time, though, the Bashi players were wary. They had already been overcast by this kick from the opposing goalkeeper before, so they reacted quickly and quickly ran back to their positions. Boom. The Selvi midfielder took the ball down and started to advance fast. At this time, the Bashi team's front was relatively pressed up, not completely shrinking in the defensive line, but swimming back and forth more flexibly. One pass. The football was passed from the midfield to the right wing and found Vlahovic. After Vlahovic won the football, he did not rush forward, but controlled the football to face the two Bay team defenders. He was calm, did not rush the ball, and did not force the goal. The players of the Bashi team also stared at the football and did not rush to fight for it. Suddenly, Vlahovic began to accelerate. With a little ball under his feet, he drilled out and launched like lightning. The action was sudden and swift. Vlahovic managed to get past two defenders. However, just when Vlahovic was bypassing the two, the defenders of the Bashi team had already reacted and quickly intercepted. And during the interception, Vlahovic stumbled on his feet and almost fell to the ground. The players of the Bashi team took advantage of Vlahovic's stumbling effort, quickly went out to kick the ball, and successfully destroyed the ball. Beep. But at this time, Jiang Ning sounded the whistle. The players of the Bashi team looked puzzled, and spread their hands to Jiang Ning, indicating that they did not foul. Jiang Ning looked calm, ran to the player of the Bashi team, and showed a yellow card warning. Wow. The players of the Bashi team were shocked and looked innocent. The fans were even more puzzled. They had been staring at this, and just now in the process of stealing, the Bashi players should not have made any small movements. And this player also kicked football at the end. What's there to blow about this? What is the reason for this? Kick out too fast, yellow card warning door. Jiang Ning said lightly. Ah. The Bashi defender reacted. This is a relatively unpopular rule. Kicking out too fast is actually a kind of reckless foul. But whether to eat cards depends on the specific situation. This rule means that when the opposing player falls or is unable to protect himself, the scrambling player must not get out too quickly. Because this is a dangerous move that is likely to hurt the other party. Just now, Vlahovic did have a stumbling and his body could not maintain balance. And this waiver Bashi player quickly out of the foot, in fact, is very dangerous. If Vlahovic had really fallen, perhaps this kick would have caused him serious damage. This foul, no problem with giving a yellow card. It's just that this rule is not well understood by many fans. Beep. Jiang Ning sounded the whistle and awarded a free kick to the Selvi team. The goal was given to Servi's former player, Tadic, to take the penalty. The players of the Bashi team immediately became alert. Because neither of the Selvi strikers came to the penalty, it means that the opponent is likely not to hit the goal directly, but to find opportunities through free kick crosses. Shout. Tadic sent a free kick and sure enough, he didn't shoot directly, but crossed from a high point. High penalty. At this time, the height advantage of the Servi team is reflected. The two strikers jumped high and were in a pretty good position. Boom. Mitrovic managed to rub football. The football immediately changed direction in midair. The ball is not fast, because Mitrovic does not rub on the football with much force. However, the angle is tricky. Corner. Oops. Damn it. The faces of the players of the Bashi team have changed dramatically. This ball is sudden. The direction of football has changed too much, and it is completely different from the original judgment of goalkeepers and defenders. It's time to score. The football is about to rush into the dead corner. Wow. The fans of the Salvai's team at the scene all stood up excitedly. This goal is almost certain to be scored. A great opportunity for the Servi team. Boom. However, at this time, Bashi defender Silva arrived in time. A very decisive kick kicked the football off the sideline. No. The players of the Selvi team showed a look of disappointment. Almost a little. It's just a little bit closer. How could Silva appear in that place? If it weren't for him, the goalkeeper wouldn't have had time to react at all. However, if he didn't enter, and they couldn't accept him anymore. Football is like that, until the last moment, the result can never be determined. Subsequently, the Selvi team continued to throw the ball out of bounds in an attempt to continue the offensive against the Boshi team, but unfortunately, the ball was stolen by the Boshi player. Shout. The Boshi players did not pause, directly a long pass sent the football to the front. At this time, Namur, as well as Richarlison and Vinicius, had also launched 6 quickly. Episode 90, Jiang Ning's sharp eyes watched every corner of the stadium. The football was snatched. The ball came to the feet of the Boshi team. The 3 strikers rushed wildly. Namur, Richarlison, Vinicius. The picture of these 3 people running at the same time has a huge impact. The audience erupted into deafening cheers. The 3 gods of the Boshi team joined forces. Rush. My horse. Fight back fiercely, respond to their aggression with a goal. Crush their filthy means with victory. Richarlison, don't be impulsive anymore, shoot well this time, if I can't score again, I'll like Vinicius. Come on horses. Come on Team Boshi. One step closer to 6-star Boshis again, Selvi right fools, what about your 7:1 banner? Are you embarrassed to take it out in shame? The crowd in the audience saw the 3 charge. Shout excitedly, this is the charm of football. Shout. The football is flying fast, and the 3 strikers are running side by side. Go. At this time, Namur gestured to the 2. Richarlison and Vinicius nodded, one left and one right instantly scattered, cut forward, and rushed into the restricted area. The task of receiving the football and passing the ball was given to Namur. Boom. The football fell, Namur had a meal at his feet, and he had already come to the position of the landing point 1 step ahead of the football. Then as soon as he lifted the instep of his foot, the football deftly landed at his feet. And at this time, the opposing defenders have also rushed up, ready to press. Their speed is fast, and more importantly, the forward rush is fierce, giving people the feeling that they want to collide directly. Menacing, 2 people wrapped up. The 2 Selvi defenders did not stop at their feet and raised their hands slightly. They seemed to be about to make some small moves. Jiang Ning, who was not far away, followed like a shadow. They knew earlier that their teammate had taken a red card, and their hearts were very anxious. Damn it. How can you meet such a referee? At this moment, Jiang Ning's steps followed closely behind, and his sharp eyes looked at every corner of the stadium. And at this time, Namur made an amazing move. I saw him step on the football under his feet, and then the outer instep pushed the football with a very light force. A dexterous and flowing turn. At this time, Namur is like a compass. His left foot is fixed in place, but his right foot controls the football and makes a circle motion in place. Other players turn around with the ball the most when they pass, but Namur is spinning around with the ball. Shout. This action is an understatement, as if everything is in his calculations. At the same time as he spun in circles, 2 defenders rushed straight past, one after the other. Brilliant idea. Another almost playful pass. If you are not extremely competent in your skills, if you are not in a state of extreme relaxation, how can you make such an action? Wow. The audience screamed. Cheers for Namur's cool skills. All this was counted by Namur in an instant, and only then did he make such an action. The moment he turned around, he so easily missed the 2 defensive players. The only one in the world, and only he can play football so cool and smart, very watching. Damn it. Bastard. 2 defensive players were furious. They feel a sense of humiliation, the same footballers, Namur is showing off his skills, and they are like 2 clowns. Completely furious. The 2 fought to catch up, and they were bound to stop Namur. But when they braked the car and turned around to catch up, how could they catch up with Namur again? When Namur threw the 2 of them, he continued to rush in with the ball. At this time, Selvi's other 3 players had also caught up, making tackles and interceptions. A flash of excitement flashed in Namur's eyes. He hadn't felt this excitement in a long time. At this moment, he forgot the pain on his feet, and there was only one thought in his heart. Pass, continue to pass. Sprint towards the opponent's goal. Break through their defenses. Namur stepped a little, pushed the ball to the left, and easily passed one again. Immediately afterwards, the football rolled, and Namur made another shocking move. I saw that after he pushed the ball out, his body tilted down, almost sideways to the ground. His right hand supported his body, and the whole person was almost lying on the ground. But his feet still didn't stop. Relying on the support of his right hand, his body drew a semicircle, and the football under his feet controlled once again passed by one. Rush, break through their defenses, and take the crucial goal. I've never seen Mar play so happily, it's so rare. This victory must belong to our Boshi team, no one can stop it. Namur. Namor. At this time, the entire audience was boiling. Exciting, so exciting. The cheers instantly ignited the entire stadium and lifted the atmosphere. Return to the playing field. Namor has already passed 4 people in a row, and there is one last one. Whether one person can penetrate the other party's 5-person defense line between this electric flint light, it depends on this moment. At this time, Namor had already risen from the ground, and the football was still firmly controlled by him. The last defensive player of the Selvi team did not hesitate to press with his feet, and at the same time made a push motion on his hand. But Namor seemed to have predicted it for a long time, picked up his toes, and the football jumped high. And after the football flew up, Namor also made a quick turn and dodged the opponent's pushing action. Coherent. 5 people in a row. Pierced the opponent's defenses. What a game, it's a show of skill. Some people may even think that this is just a daily training session of the Bashi team. Otherwise, how could someone kick so relaxed and let go so freely? Shout. When the football fell, Namor had already completed the turn, and all 5 of the Selvi defenders were used behind him. Face the empty door. No one is watching. Roar. At this time, the goalkeeper of the Selvi team took the initiative to attack. He knows very well that in the face of a player like Jiang Namor, if he is allowed to shoot, he will definitely not be able to stop him. The only hope is not to let him out of his feet. So, the goalkeeper of the Selvi team rushed out and pounced on the landing point of the football. But in the next second, his heart completely sank to the bottom. Because Namor has already stepped out early. And it was still when the football had not yet landed 2.4. That is, if the football is still in midair, then Marl is already moving. From the football being provoked, to Namor turning around, to the football falling, just in the blink of an eye, Namor completed such a series of actions. Boom. Namor is out of his feet. However, he did not choose to shoot. This kick turned out to be passed to Richarlison, who had been waiting for a long time on the side. Shout. The football flew to Richarlison, and at a moderate height. Exactly the most comfortable height for Richarlison. Boom. Richarlison lifted his foot and volleyed directly. Swish. Face the empty door and no one is watching. Football should be on the net. Richarlison scored. He completed his self-redemption and returned the goal he missed earlier. And Namor also got an assist with his amazing skills. Jiang Ning's arm front finger, the goal is effective. 3-2. Reverse the score.